Bring your cup and take a seat. Fill it up, coffee, wine, or tea. Come find what you're looking for. A good pour.
Welcome back to A Good Pour. Today is a very fun episode because we are celebrating 5 years of business. And so I wanted to go back through my 2021 gratitude journal and prayer journal, which is the year that we started the business, and just reflect some on that first year of business. For some of you, if you've heard the story before, you know that I did not intentionally start Good Circle Marketing. I lost my job at the end of 2020 from a startup company that I had helped for 2 years, poured my heart and soul into. And I was kind of mad when I started in 2021 and trying to figure out what I was going to do. And so I just thought it would be neat to walk through this journal. So the first one was January of 2021, and it's for my personal. So I won't read you all of my prayer requests, but for the job, it says, help me to know that you are in control. I trust you. Thank you for sifting out all that happens in this world through your sovereign will. I yield my way to your perfect will and way. Grateful for this past work, the research and the planning that may allow me to start something new. Help me find a new job. Help me see your path and follow. In January, I prayed for time to rest and refill, which I think is really, really important when we look at starting something new, to have that time to just rest and to reflect. In February, I again said, I yield my way to your perfect will and way. I asked for just a month of consulting to help me find new clients. And in that first February, I gained a client, and it was Scrub Hub. Jonathan Good has been on this podcast before. And that story came from, I was at a Young Life planning session, and somebody said, what are you good at? And I said, well, after 20 plus years, I guess I'm good at marketing. And without even thinking about it, I said, I think I'm getting ready to start my own business. And I really had not spoken that out loud. I had barely even thought it. I definitely had not talked to my husband about it. And that happened at the very end of January. And by February, the person who he asked, Jonathan, was sitting across the room, and he said, well, what kind of marketing? And I said, small business marketing. And he hired me a month later. I also got a second client in that month. So again, just within a month of really going in and trying to look at this and pray to God about this, we had 2 clients. So then in March, I started praying for my future clients. It says, my future clients, bless them, bless me, just in this work of blessing the clients and blessing me through my work with them. I said, help me be a peacemaker. And that, for the first time, I wrote, do good work for good people. In April, I said, interesting, I was talking about COVID. We're still dealing with COVID in 2021. We think of 2020, I think, as the COVID year, but 2021 definitely was still COVID. So for the first time in, what month are we in? For the first time in April of 2021, I wrote, give me clients that you want me to help. And I still, every time I journal, whether it's daily or weekly or monthly, I write, send me the clients that you want me to help. I wrote, help me trust you as I figure out what I want this business to be. I wrote, lay the burden down of building this business for me and for worldly goals. Help me to do your work. Again, do good work for good people. In May, I started praying for a freelance WordPress developer because I knew that I was trying to do websites on my own, and I quickly figured out that that was not the way to go. So this started this kind of freelance idea of bringing on consultants to help me do the things that I didn't want to do or I couldn't do. And this is also about the time I started having a conversation with someone that I had worked with, Rich, at a previous company, and he came on as the first retainer consultant. We also had at this time a retainer with a new client that basically allowed me to replace the salary that he was getting from that previous organization. So just as I reflect, just God working in all kinds of ways. Clients you want me to help, good work for good people. Help me to lay down my will and way to your perfect will and way. Just a lot of repeat prayers as we start this business in the first year. So then in June or July of 2021, I started having conversations that I called a good pour. At that time, they were not video like they are now, but we started having conversations just in coffee. And I got to, again, that was based on Jason Elkin's 100 Cup program, but I called it something different. I called it a good pour and sat down with people in our community to learn more about them. Those early conversations were precious. Lots of memories coming to mind now. But those conversations are really what led to sitting in the Good Story studio here at the Gallatin Chamber and having a video podcast that Josh gets to help me with, and DJ edits, and the whole team helps get out. So in the very first year, that foundation of a good pour was started. I started praying for interns. Emma Wilgleton and Kathryn Bagwell both were in this prayer journal. They were our very first interns, and the intern program is now something that is near and dear to my heart that we get to do. And so very early in the foundation of 2021 with this company, we are praying for those interns. So then we get into August. I wrote expanding the team with freelancers, and we now have a whole lot of freelancers that we work with to do the very best work we can. I said conversations that bring you glory. So not just conversations that may bring business or may bring brand awareness, but bring glory to God in those early days. And then continued, at this point, I had found a web developer to work with. So, a couple months after I started praying for a freelance web developer, God had answered. In September, I skipped. So really good lesson that, I skipped the actual journaling. I did write down some answered prayers. Oh, here we go. Marketing Machine coming together. So the Marketing Machine is still our core marketing product that we help brands figure out who they are, who they help, and how they tell the world. So very early, again, in this very first year, just something that we're still is one of our core products was coming together. October, the Marketing Machine and the Fractional CMO idea was born. The Fractional CMO, I'm still the Fractional CMO for several clients per month. And just so neat to see that in the reflection of that first year, of these foundational elements that are still a part of us. Still, clients you want me to help me lay down your way to help me lay down my way to your perfect will and way. And conversations that bring you glory through a good pour. And then we go on to, in November, all I wrote down is clients that you want me to help. Still, again, a prayer that continues. In December, I did not do a journey. I did not do a journal at all. But it's so interesting to me to see how many of the foundations are part of that first year, that we still are continuing prayers that I am still asking and thinking about, and the team started praying for a team, and our interns, and all of that is the reason Good Circle Marketing exists, that we thrive. This foundation of 2021 is the reason we can open another arm of the business called Good AI Marketing. It's all grounded in the same prayers of learning something new and being aware of what this world needs, and how I can do my small part, how my team can do our small part to bring glory to God and to help others, and to continue to do good work. So thank you for letting me reflect on 2021 and 5 years ago, and 5 years of being in business. And thank you for joining with me on this podcast and hearing the stories of our clients and our friends and other people doing good work. And thank you for just supporting me and praying along with me.